Hey everyone, welcome to 5 More Minutes, the show where two friends relive their childhoods or, in some cases, learn about everything they missed out on. I'm a tired teacher.
I'm a tired engineer.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
you don't have to deal with children all day.
Well, thank God.
Yeah, that's true. It'd be bad for them.
Yeah, it would.
Okay, let's see. The last one I did was a wedding cake one, right? I've been
I
purposefully not deleting these
I
messages so
don't
that I have jokes.
remember
I
the
think
wedding
so.
cake one.
Well, because I said it was in tears.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah. Okay. If the early bird catches the worm, I'll sleep in until there are pancakes.
It's not really.
Hmm.
Is that a joke? Technically,
I don't. I don't know.
Yeah.
These are all from the Spokane estate liquidation
Nice.
because I bought something from them on that,
The auction.
website. I want to name my puppies Rolex and Timex so I can have watchdogs.
Nice.
And that's the last one because the next one is reminder: Spokane estate liquidation will be closed at tomorrow.
At tomorrow.
At tomorrow. Our second youngest, Killian, has a procedure we need to be present for. Reply stop to stop.
Wow.
Yeah.
At some point, I must have actually hit stop because I used to get some of those, but not anymore.
It's now I just keep it for the jokes, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And my dad finally, well, first he said she wanted to be I guess spontaneous.
Right.
And then he said she just wanted it.
So yeah, Kendra sent me those screenshots were hilarious because it was like, your mom got a new car, and Kendra just put, why? And then he's like, what did he say after that?
2005 with 17,000 miles.
And then you were like, why does she need it though? Like, kept in the garage the whole time.
And then the rad grandma thing.
Yeah.
And he called it a lowrider. I mean, I'm assuming it's just a 2-wheel drive Colorado or something. But is that did they have Colorados by then? Yeah, it's a Colorado. Yeah. I'm assuming it's just so she can go kayaking without, because my dad's truck is really big and I don't think she likes to drive it. But if it only has 17,000 miles, like Colorados definitely don't retain their value. But like, I wonder how expensive it was.
That barely got driven.
Yeah, that was like someone's like weekend truck or something.
Yeah, what is that? 17 years on a dot, so 1,000 miles a year.
Yeah, it's crazy. Or someone who just like only used it for like small house projects or something.
Yeah,
I don't know. I like my new plan, I think, but then I saw a Toyota ad for the GR Corolla again on Instagram, and I was like, man, maybe I should just get a new car and keep my truck. But I don't think that's the good long run plan,
Decisions. I mean, to be fair, like the GR Corolla is probably not a very efficient long-term car. But
yeah, I mean, the Matrix gets the best gas mileage, and I would probably just keep it when I got something else because it's not going to be worth that much money.
Yeah.
The Scions aren't that much more expensive, and I'm sure that hopefully by next year they'd be cheaper. But if they announce like a super awesome thing and it's going to be available in the fall, maybe I just won't. I don't know.
My mom just bought a lowrider as well.
Oh, yeah.
It's like
must be a mom car.
Yeah, I don't know what year it is, but it's like a 05 S10 or something like that.
What's up with the moms and the Chevys?
I don't know. It was like,
and why were they making S10s and Colorados at the same time? They were almost the same size.
Yeah, maybe I'm wrong on the year. What year is it? Oh, dang it. This is going to bother me now.
They stopped making S10s in 2005. So I wonder if that's a first gen Colorado.
Oh, they were like testing it out or something.
It says they started making the Colorado in 2014. So they overlapped. It was a replacement.
Well, it's definitely one of the last versions of the S10. So it's in that range somewhere. Well, I suppose we can just get into it. Since Kendra did the history of dice last week, I was like, I should do the history of something. And I like shoes a lot. So I was like, we'll just do the history of...
Wait.
Yeah.
Why didn't you put Air Jordans in your background?
I mean, there's a lot technically in those boxes.
Well, yeah.
I didn't think that far ahead.
Oh.
Yeah. There's a little tiny one that Kendra printed right there.
Yeah. I made it look like those OG ones you found.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, going over the history of Air Jordan, the brand, like the sneakers when they first came out, and just kind of BS a little bit. So
yeah, are you going to talk about what made them a fashion a fashion, not icon, because it's not like a person.
A statement? Is that what you're looking for?
A fashion, I guess, but like everyone be wearing them, you know? Like everyone a fashion.
Be wearing them, you know?
I don't know.
They is popular. And I mean, it's hard to point at anything else besides Michael Jordan for them being that popular. I mean, he was the shit.
Except with like today's Gen Z, I don't think that matters to them.
Yeah, they probably just know the shoe since everyone's been wearing them for so long. So they're like, those are good, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably true. Did you ever watch The Last Dance on Netflix?
No, I remember you talking about it, and I think I was like, oh, that sounds like something I should maybe watch, and then I didn't.
Yeah, if anyone hasn't watched The Last Dance, that is like a phenomenal documentary all about Michael Jordan and, you know, his time on the Chicago Bulls, and they touch a little bit on the sneakers and stuff, but it is crazy. I mean, there's a reason that everyone calls him the greatest of all time, and like he's just different. It's pretty nuts. His like mindset is crazy. But we'll get around to that a little bit.
I need to get the remote for the air conditioner.
Oh, okay. I will keep talking about all the things that Kendra will need to edit out later. Behind the green screen, I didn't talk about much.
Are you talking shit?
I didn't talk about much. I was more like just filling dead air.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Heck yeah.
So Air Jordan itself is obviously a line of basketball shoes and athletic clothing produced by Nike. And the first Air Jordan shoe was produced for Hall of Fame former basketball player Michael Jordan.
Oh, yeah.
During his time at the Chicago Bulls in 1984. And they were released to the public in April of 1985. At that time, some of the shoes were designed by Peter Moore, Tinker Hatfield, and Bruce Kilgore were the big three that designed the
my name models. Was Tinker.
Tinker? That is an odd first name.
Yeah. Also, while I was just thinking about this, because like I use the number 23 and everything, you know, and it's because it was like both my sister's softball numbers, but it didn't originate with Michael Jordan for them, at least for my oldest sister, because she was never into basketball.
Yeah.
But the Mariners for a while had this player named Jose Cruz Jr., who my sister really liked, and he was number 23.
Oh, is that where it's come from? Is that confirmed?
Mm-hmm. Oh, okay. Yeah. And then my sister Tara, I don't know, because she played basketball and I think she had like a Bulls jersey. So maybe she was just like, oh, 23 and then 23. And then for me, it was just like family number.
I guess. Sure. And then the movie, The Number 23 came out and you're like, yes.
Yeah. Confirmed. I bought that at Walmart. I was like, heck yeah, we have to go watch this right now.
Right now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think my sister thought he was cute.
The baseball player?
Yeah. I'm trying to find a good picture. I found one.
Baseball players.
I'm going to put it temporarily as my background and then I'll switch it back to the shoes because that's really on point. Oh, his head is not in here.
Well, I can see his lips.
They do look very, I don't know.
Voluptuous.
Yeah, I was like, what's a good lip word? Here's another one. He's not in his Mariners jersey for this one, but.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I guess he was just like the new young hot stud or whatever.
Yeah. You got to go through those, you know.
Yeah.
It's a phase.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so back to Jordan a little bit. So I don't know, you probably don't know since you haven't watched The Last Dance, but there is like a famous myth around the first pair of Air Jordans that he wore.
There's a myth?
There is a myth. It has kind of been debunked now, but Nike, everyone's still kind of like, oh, you know, the band shoes or whatever. So it is said that at one time during his career at the Chicago Bulls, Jordan wore black and red Nikes, the high tops onto the court to play a game. And back at that time, Converse was actually the shoe of the NBA. And they had very strict rules where you could only wear like white and black Converse, no matter what your team colors were. So you couldn't like color coordinate with your team, basically. and everyone on your team had to have the same one. So if you're one of them wearing white, everyone's wearing white.
That just shows you how post World War II, everyone was trying to conform to ideals, and no one had individuality. I'm teaching the lottery. Have you read that before?
No.
It's where like the town follows a ritual where they pull pieces of paper out. They do like a culling every year, and they stone one person.
Oh.
And they're only doing it because like all the other towns are doing it. And Shirley Jackson, who also wrote The Haunting of Hill House, is only writing about it because in post-World War II America, like everyone was like conforming because like the TV and everything was like the big thing right then.
Yeah.
And apparently it was published. I know this is really off topic, but it was published in the New Yorker, and people wrote into the magazine to complain, and they lost subscribers because of it. And she received 300 personal letters to her, and only 13 of them were positive. The other 287 were like hateful.
Hate speech.
Yeah. Wait, what's this?
So click on that link.
What shoes are these? Because I want them.
I don't know what colorway that is, but they're Air Jordan 1s.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I know that part, but they're like really pretty.
Yeah, they're good colors.
Jordan's so at that band.
At that link, just scroll all the way to the bottom.
I'm not gonna lie. I thought you were saying band like BAND. It actually sent me to your picture in the link.
Oh, the black and white one?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, nice. So yeah, that shoe is a picture of what he actually wore in the game. And you can tell just by looking at those aren't true Air Jordan 1s. They're actually called Nike Airships. So
that's very warlike.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And it was very basic. It was black and red. So that part was true.
They're called Black Grape.
Oh, those ones. That's a lot of, I mean, grape's usually just purple.
When it has W on StockX, is that women's?
Yep.
They're only $169.
Dude, women's Nikes get so many cool colors that guys just don't get. There's so many.
I know, but now like, but every Nike now has men's and women's sizes, so you could still like get them.
Well, yeah.
Most of them, like almost all of them.
Yeah. But that was just off topic.
I might have to get those at some point.
Oh yeah.
There's 8 left in my size, so.
Oh, there you go. So yeah, these airships were made in 1984. They were a shoe back then. They're a piece of sneaker history or whatever, and they haven't really. There hasn't been like
was that the only remake. Pair?
I'm sure there were other pairs at that time. I think it was just.
But like, were they made specifically for him?
To probably
like,
those. Or
like,
ones.
Were they just like a? What do you call something that's being tested?
Like a prototype.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time with words today.
Yeah. So those were the shoes he actually had on. If you scroll in that article all the way up to the very first picture, you can see
his feet.
Well, no, the next one of just the shoe.
Oh, aren't those like the ones that you had?
They are the same ones that I had.
Yeah.
So those are the actual Nike Air Jordan 1s, and so Michael Jordan.
He was fined $5,000 every time he wore them.
Yes. So that is the thing. He received a letter after wearing the airships that, this is against NBA code. If you continue wearing these, you will get fined, a certain pair of the letter's super famous. It's like for a certain pair of black and red shoes being worn by Michael Jordan. And it was like, if you continue wearing these, you'll like get fined. But as the myth goes, and I don't know how much of it is true after this point, we've kind of proven that the Air Jordan 1s were not worn in the game originally. He wore them to a dunk contest after, but not in an actual game. But yes,
so they weren't actually worn in the game?
Not these band bred Air Jordan 1s. There's no proof that they were worn in a game anyway.
The ones from the bottom, the prototypes?
Yes, those were.
And that's different than those were worn in a game, but not the breads.
Correct.
Oh, $5,000 in 1984 is equivalent of $14,252.69.
There you go. So that's
almost 3 times as much.
Yeah, it's not an unsubstantial amount to be fined per game. There's a lot of NBA games in the season.
What was Michael Jordan's?
His what?
I want to know how much money he was making in 1984.
Oh.
500 and estimated. Yeah, okay. 1984, 1985, 550,000 times 3. So like 1.5 million almost.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, making good cash.
Yeah.
So the myth goes after this point that Nike received this letter and, and then Michael Jordan continued wearing black and red shoes to every one of his games. And the myth goes that Nike footed the bill for the $5,000 fine because they were getting great publicity out of it. And they were rocking with it. So yeah, we've established he's wearing the airships, not the breads, but those are the same shoes that I stumbled upon and sold. So it's pretty cool, but they're referred to as the band breads or the band ones, and that colorway in the Air Jordan 1 has been like remade and resold like 7 times.
The ones that I didn't like were those shiny ones.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot what those are called already.
Yeah, they were bread something, but
yeah. But those are the most recent ones to come out. So there's been like 7 releases.
I think they were just the patent leather ones, weren't they? Patent leather bread.
They weren't leather, but I think
they
were
just called patent bread.
Yeah, maybe. Patent bread. So yeah, so that was kind of the start of everything big at that point. After the shoes got released to the public, they were an instant success. One fun fact that I stumbled on is Jordan actually wanted to partner with Adidas.
Yeah, I wonder what that would have done for Adidas.
Oh man, yeah, things would be a lot different.
Because I mean, Adidas is like a good brand and stuff, but they're not known for like basketball.
Yeah, and at the time, 1984, like I mentioned, Converse was the big deal, and he approached Converse as well, and Converse told him that the company would not put Jordan above other athletes that they sponsored, such as Larry Bird and Magic Johnson.
But you wouldn't want to put anyone above Larry Bird. I mean,
well, I mean, at this time for making sales, it turns out you probably should have.
Well, my cousin Jim had like a real big man crush on Larry Bird. And that like apartment in his shop that I would like work out in just had like so much Celtics stuff in it.
Yeah.
Like so many Larry Bird things. Like, I don't know. I mean, he's like 50, so I guess that would make sense. He was big into Larry Bird.
Yeah. So they told him basically like, yeah, we'll partner with you, but we're not going to make you a big deal.
He looks funny.
Yeah, he does kind of look funny.
He kind of looks like Owen Wilson.
Any big white dude that gets that tall starts to look kind of weird,
That's true. Yeah.
Where people are not meant to be that big.
6'9".
And like I said, his Jordan's favorite shoe was Adidas, but Adidas could not make the deal work at that time, so they turned him down. And then Jordan's agent was David Falk, and he wanted him to go with Nike. But at that time, Nike was actually known more for track shoes, so Jordan didn't really want to go with them. So Falk
they did kind of start with like the running stuff, didn't they?
Yeah, absolutely. Track and field type things. So his agent actually went to Jordan's mother, Dolores, and convinced her. And his mom basically told Jordan, you may not like it, but you're going to go listen. And so he went there, and then the deal was made, offered him a great deal, unheard of for rookies. And his father said he'd be a fool not to take it, and Jordan did. So
I always see all of these like TikToks they show up on, or like Instagram reels where it's like black moms compared to like white moms, and it seems like black moms can be like very convincing.
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm sure. I don't doubt that in the slightest. So how you might ask how Air Jordan got its name. Nike had just come out with new technology for their running shoes called Air Soles. And obviously Michael played in the air, and they call him his airness, if you did not know that.
Oh.
And so he said, obviously, we're going to call it Air Jordan.
Makes sense.
Mm-hmm. At that time, Nike's expectation when they signed the deal was at the end of year 4, they hoped to sell $3 million worth of Air Jordans. In year 1, they sold 126 million. So they destroyed all expectations for this type of thing. Mm-hmm. And then we talked about how it became iconic, which is kind of what you're saying as far as the fashion thing.
Yeah, maybe that's the word I was looking for.
Yeah,
because I was thinking like fashion icon, but like I don't know if that's right. But
yeah, that's a thing.
I was just like thinking about like the men's and women's sizing thing, because like sometimes they come out with women's shoes in the same colorway, and I wonder like how different the shoe actually is. Like if the cut is like slightly different.
Yeah.
Because like a lot of like my CrossFit shoes that are like just CrossFit shoe brands just have men's and women's sizing. Like there's no difference between the shoes. Mm-hmm. And so I wonder like what's actually different.
Yeah. We may never know. It's probably something really simple, actually. But so they became iconic because of the band Myth and, the fine. Mm-hmm. Nike capitalized on the publicity. And then really the rest is history. That from that, it became like a must-have status symbol for the late 80s and the 90s. And obviously, it's still a big style today. I have a quote here. For a kid, it was almost like owning a lightsaber from Star Wars, rapper Nas explains in the documentary. You needed that shoe to be like him. It was more than a status symbol. You knew that this guy was the guy. So people took to it very quickly. Some instances were good and some were bad. I actually stumbled on an article, but it was a big story back in 1989. A student was strangled and killed for a pair of his Air Jordans.
Dang, that's dark.
Yeah. 15-year-old Michael Eugene Thomas. He was a 9th grader at Meade Senior High School in Anne Arundel County. Wow. MD.
Maryland.
Thank you.
your look of confusion was
in my head. I was so stuck on Minnesota, and I knew that wasn't it.
M states are all weird because, like, which one is it that? Because like, Missouri is MO. There's like,
and Mississippi is MI.
Yeah, there's like some state where I'm just like, wait, that's weird. That's what it is. I don't know which one it is. But.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, James David Martin was 17 years old, charged with first-degree murder. He was actually his basketball buddy who took Thomas's 2-week-old Air Jordan basketball shoes and left Thomas's barefoot body in the woods near the school.
Jeez.
Yeah. It was stated that the victim loved Michael Jordan as well as the shoes, and he cleaned his own pair every evening, even kept the cardboard box with Jordan's silhouette, and in a place of honor in his room, and inside the box was the sales ticket, showed the price of $115.50. So at this time, it actually became like a problem. And even before this in Detroit, Principal Dr. Robin Oden of Mumford High School mentioned that clothing-related violence had reached a point where he felt it was necessary to ban certain items of clothing, including Air Jordan sneakers, from all school grounds. So the ban was the first of many dress codes implemented in schools after the wave of robberies, beatings, and shootings over possession of Air Jordan sneakers and other items of clothing. So,
jeez.
Yeah, people were nuts over this stuff. So, yeah. And, oh, yeah. Doors locked. Oh, yeah. And it goes into a real kind of touching article about Jordan hearing about the story and like having himself locked in the locker room to read it and kind of have the weight of it. So obviously not a good thing, but
yeah,
goes to show you these shoes were pretty insane. When they were first released, Air Jordan 1s, you want to take a guess at the price in 1985?
Didn't you just read a price? It was $115.
That was later. That was in 89.
Oh. Were they cheaper?
Yeah.
$65.
You nailed that. Holy cow. $65 indeed.
Well, that's about $170. So
there you go. Yeah, you're just back counting inflation in your head.
Yeah.
Look at you go.
Heck yeah.
So yes, that after that they started going up in price, obviously. And I guess something that I never really knew about Air Jordans is that every single year since 85, a new silhouette is made. So they're
all different.
So I'm going to send you this link, and it's kind of fun just to scroll through, but it has like every single, it's like a cartoon visualization, but it shows you the style of each of the sneaker and what year they came in. So they're actually just getting ready to release the Air Jordan 37 because that's the number they are on.
36, but we only ever see like 1 through 8.
Yeah, they don't make a whole lot of the higher numbers, I noticed. So, and I guess 37 looks kind of interesting. It's kind of an older style, but you can tell it's like made for new basketball, and it's got some interesting colors.
I wish these were like real pictures.
Yeah, I did too. I couldn't find one that actually had the real pictures.
The 21s look kind of like the 7s.
Once you get so far, some of them start to look a little bit the same. And I mean, there's probably so many iterations you can do.
And some of them are randomly the year, like the Air Jordan 2009, 10, and 11.
I know, yeah, it makes it super confusing when I was doing research. I was like, wait, is this a number? Where is this at?
These ones are like, these look like they're like, the 32s look like these are like some sort of fly knit material with like, I don't know if that's 32. XXX should be.
Yes.
And then they have some weird thing that kind of looks like a spoiler on the back.
Yeah. Pretty dope. Look at all that.
And the newest one, I don't know, maybe you already said this and I was just enthralled, but the newest one, like I feel like the last 3 all just look like different versions of the Air Jordan 1. Maybe not the last 3, but the last 2.
Yeah. I mean, they're definitely kind of trying to put new spins on it, but there's only so much you can do and probably try to keep it a Jordan. But yeah, I didn't know that. I thought that was a cool detail. So one new silhouette is released every year. And obviously we get tons of new colorways for older ones as time goes on. I don't even know how many colors the Air Jordan 1 come in anymore, but it's nuts.
There's so many.
Yeah.
I really want these freaking black grape ones. And I don't even think my Air Jordans look that good on me. At least these ones. I think that the 5s are fine. There is a black grape 5, but they're like $400.
Yeah. There's some really cool 5s that I love, but they are just too expensive. Have some other fun facts for you.
Also, wait, I'm going to interject. Also, this made me a little bit distracted talking about shoes.
Yeah.
And because when I got on StockX, these were like there because some just came out. But like, I really want to know about these Spark Flyknit shoes. Like, I want to know if those are like
good. Yeah, I think those, because a pair of those came out today, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know the ones you're talking about.
And also, I still really want some Air Moabs.
Air Moab. Oh my God.
Yeah. Anyways.
Oh yeah, I was doing fun facts.
Yeah, fun facts. FFs.
Michael Jordan did not like black and red sneakers. When Nike first presented it, he innocently responded, "I can't wear that shoe. Those are the devil colors." Well, it's not because of what you think.
Oh,
as a Tar Heel,
very specific.
So he came from North Carolina, and they were like white and blue. His rival color, NC State, were black and red.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That would be like me hating purple and gold.
Yeah.
Or purple, not purple and gold. What is?
You're like a trader, so you
purple and white.
You can go either way.
Well,
you're talking about for college? Yeah, it'd be purple and white Huskies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly. We already talked about, but people were very skeptical that the first Jordan would sell. It obviously did.
Purple, gold, and metallic gold, and grays.
Purple, gold, metallic. Wow, that's a lot of color.
But it says that their logo is 4B2E83, and their gold is E8E3D3.
Okay. Color
code. The hex code, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Also, those Air Moabs that were brown and purple are now $76 in my size.
Oh, Tempting.
Yeah, it is.
So when we got to 86, that was obviously the year of the Air Jordan 2, and that one did not have a Nike swoosh at all. So
that's weird.
Yeah. And it was said to be the first luxury basketball shoe was the Air Jordan 2.
Oh.
Yep.
What's that mean?
Just like brought a new level of luxury to sports product, it said. Because it thanks to the faux lizard skin.
Oh, these are the weird shaped ones. There's some in the store right now. Or in they're upcoming. They're like poofy. They look like a poofy jacket.
Those ones that are upcoming are a collaboration, and the tongue actually lights up.
Oh, I want light up shoes.
And I think the soles glow in the dark.
Sometimes I forget my what are those ones that I was wearing today? The ones that you have an extra pair of?
The Air Maxes.
Yeah, there we go. Sometimes I forget those have glow in the dark soles, and then I'll be in like a dark room and I'm like, why are my feet glowing? And then I'm like, oh.
Yeah, I have that shoe shelf in the corner of my room, and there's like 2 pairs on it that have glow in the dark stuff on it. And every now and then I'll like wake up and I'll like see something in there. And I was like, what the heck is that? Oh yeah, they glow.
I need to get a shoe shelf because I have all my nice shoes stacked up on the boxes of my floor.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Fun fact. The Air Jordan 3 stopped Michael Jordan from leaving Nike. Since he wasn't too big on signing with Nike from the start. And after 2 of the people who did the most, Peter Moore and Rob Strasser, Peter Moore was the designer of the 1, he considered changing, and his initial deal only went up to 1988 anyway, so they were almost out. In the end, it was young designer Tinker Hatfield, incorporation
of Tinker
of the elephant print and the Jumpman logo on the revolutionary Air Jordan 3. So this was the first one that had the prominent Jumpman logo on the tongue.
The 2? No, the 3.
Well, yes, the 3. And then another fun fact, once they got to the Air Jordan 5, which we were just talking about, it was the first basketball sneaker with 3M used. So that's fun.
3M?
Yeah, like the rubber material. Yeah.
Oh. I think I see, like with the teens, I think I see more 1s and 3s. I see a lot of 3s. One of my students has those like purple and white ones that came out within the last like couple months.
Yeah.
And I almost like thought about getting those as my school shoe or my Friday shoe instead of the other ones.
Yeah. I think the only 3 I have is that like the weird like black and brown ones, kind of like the canvas that came out. But yeah, someday I'll have like one of each silhouette.
Someday. You're gonna have 37 pairs of shoes that are just Air Jordans?
Yeah, I mean, I've already got more than that. Shoes in general.
Well, I know, but not like, you'd be like over doubling your shoes.
Well, if you count all the ones I have for sale, I have like 65 right now.
Yeah, I don't count those. I felt like Cheyenne was being especially harsh with the number, and I was like, but like 20 of those aren't even in his size, so.
Yeah. And I literally have like 25 live listings on eBay right now, so.
Yeah. And no one has bought those Blueprint shoes?
No, those have 0 views. I can't get even people to look at them.
That's so weird, especially since they were like limited by region. I wouldn't have thought they'd be that hard to sell.
No,
like even if the resale wasn't more, you'd think that people would still want them because you could only get them in like your region of the globe.
Yeah. Well, and it's like that's not the only pair I have 0 views on. Like it's just a weird little hole that some shoes just don't get viewed. So I don't know. We'll see what happens over time.
Maybe one day we'll get some of the fancy ones.
Oh man, I wish.
I feel like I have the best chance since my size is less popular, but for shoes like that, like people are just going to be like doing whatever. So
you're going to buy whatever size you can get. Another fun fact, Michael Jordan was injured in the Air Jordan 6, but he did not care. He suffered an injury to his foot in the second game of the 91 finals.
Was it because of the shoe?
Yeah. When asked if he wanted a special shoe to help protect the injury or his usual 6s, Michael simply responded to the training staff, "Give me the pain." So he continued wearing them anyway. So there was a campaign with Space Jam, obviously, because Michael Jordan was in Space Jam, for those who do not know. The original, not the new one. But there was a pair of Hair Jordans made with an H, inspired by Bugs Bunny, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So they had, like many other things in the canon, the Hair Jordan campaign may look like a no-brainer now, but it represented quite the risk and quite the investment in 92. The initial ad alone cost $1 million, not including Jordan's salary, so even more than that. Took 6 months to make and required 3,000 separate illustrations drawn by 25 different artists. So it was a huge undertaking, but it paid off, luckily. So when Michael Jordan retired for the first time, Tinker Hatfield still designed Air Jordans while he was gone. So he continued. It is said that Michael Jordan was not happy with the Air Jordan 10s. They're kind of funky looking and they have like stripes. I don't know how much of this is true. There's some weird stuff they're throwing at me here. The Air Jordan 11 was inspired by a lawnmower, they claim. It is no secret that Tinker Hatfield has drawn inspiration from strange places when designing Jordans, maybe none as strange as a lawnmower and its protective cover that helped birth the most iconic Jordan to date, the 11s.
I mean, I'm not really seeing a lawnmower when I look at that.
I think he's just referring to, like, you know, have the plastic lining on the bottom of it. I mean, I'm with you, but I think that's what he's going for.
I feel like I've seen other shoes, other Air Jordan numbers have that on them, or are those only 11s?
What numbers?
Like, I feel like I've seen like new Air Jordan colorways have kind of like the same fabric on top.
Oh yeah, I think some do. Yeah, they're kind of mixing it up.
So the 10 was after what?
Oh, the 10 was like the first time that Jordan retired. You know, he had a brief period of retirement that he wasn't playing basketball, but they continued designing, and that's when they made the Air 10s.
Oh, and that one doesn't have a swoosh on it, or was that something?
That one just something? Michael Jordan wasn't happy with the design on that one.
Oh,
generally,
I got distracted by looking at the pictures and I was confused.
So apparently, he also wore the Jordan 11s, the one we're still talking about, against Nike's wishes. So Tinker unveiled the Concord 11s to Jordan to see how he felt about the design. Jordan was so excited about the shoes that even against Tinker's wishes, he rocked them on court and forced Nike to go with the sample version design for the following season. So he basically said, "Oh, I love these. I'm wearing them right now." Apparently, sneakerheads like to wear Air Jordan 11s with suits.
Have they been making new Air Jordan 11s? Because maybe that's just what I've seen.
They have been, yeah. And I think there's some coming out.
And there was like
spring.
Some like gray ones recently that like all that. Yeah, I know what I'm talking about.
I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, these ones, the retro cool, whatever.
Yeah,
cool gray or whatever.
Retro cool gray. So yeah, they're still putting those out. And another fun fact that you would know if you ever watched The Last Dance, but when Michael Jordan was on the verge of retiring again, when he came back to Madison Square Garden in 1998, he wore a pair of OG Air Jordan 1s in that game. And he has a really funny explanation in the documentary, but he's like, at halftime, my feet were bleeding. I was hurting. You know, shoe technology had come so far that these are not ideal to wear on the court anymore, but he bandaged his feet up and he finished it. He'd finished that game with 47 points, 8 rebounds, 6 assists, 3 steals, and some really fucked up feet.
Wow.
Yeah.
You got to protect the feet.
Dude, feet are important, man. The Air Jordan 27 was the first $200 basketball sneaker. So there you go.
The which number?
27.
Nice.
Yeah. The secret message on it. Some of these are a little weird. They're saying that If you ever hold the Air Jordan 21s up to a black light, you will see a special message illuminated. What is it? Find out for yourself. Screw you, article. Anyway, those are some fun facts. And then we touched briefly, but obviously he had the big deal with Space Jam. He wore Air Jordan 11s in that movie. They were the Concords as well, I believe. I actually had a pair of those too from that auction that were actually the Space Jam, advertised ones. They had like the monster hands and stuff on the box. So it was kind of cool. So let's go over the history of it real quick. Jordan Brand debuted a commercial during Super Bowl. What number is that? 26, which showed Bugs Bunny enlisting the help of Michael Jordan to outsmart a bullying rival team using cartoon gags. A second ad premiered in 93 featuring Bugs and Jordan facing off against Marvin the Martian. The ads inspired Jordan's agent, David Falk, again, to pitch a film starring Jordan and the Looney Tunes characters. Pitch resulted in Space Jam, a commercial success, which grossed over $230 million at the box office and generated over $1 billion in merchandise sales. So that's a lot of money.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Cash money.
And then I guess to kind of wrap things up, that's a really brief history, as much as I can cram in like an hour. But they're obviously still a continuing iconic shoe. Last year, I think it was 2021, the brand Air Jordan made $5 billion for the first time ever in 1 year, which meant that Michael Jordan would get a huge check, and I think it equated to about $150 million he made just by having the Air Jordan brand.
Nice.
Yeah. And everyone's like, oh man, that's like more than he made in like his whole career, you know? So true. It's worked out very well for him.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. If people have not, I can't recommend The Last Dance enough. You'll learn some more about this and about him. And some of the crazy outfits he wears back in the day. Holy cow.
Is he like Nick Cage?
Kinda, almost. I mean, there were other people that were more wild than him, like Dennis Rodman and stuff, but he wore some wild outfits back in the 90s. So I didn't make a quiz for this one either, because we threw out all kinds of model numbers, dollar numbers, all that kind of stuff. So
dollar bill.
We just BSing about shoes because we're both sneakerheads and whatnot. So
heck yeah.
Yeah, you know how it is.
And I really want these, and I might buy them next month.
They're calling to you. How did you did you just type in Air Jordan?
I just typed in Air Jordan and then clicked on like the first big image that I found, and it was this one, and I was like, those are freaking fresh.
And you're like, oh, it's meant to be.
Yeah, except wow. I need more like clothes. Like I have stuff I could get rid of, but I need more like shirts that aren't sweaters. Like I'm having a really hard time not repeating outfits.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Need some variety.
Yeah, and a little bit more color variety because I have a lot of like neutrals.
Yeah, but neutrals are good for shoes like that.
Well, yeah, but most of my neutrals are like a solid plain shirt. So hashtag YOLO.
YOLO, bro.
My 5s almost are kind of like my Air Maxes, where they almost feel like they're a little bit tall. Mm-hmm. But I think it's the way that they're laced is a little bit harder for me to like make them tighter in the bottom. It's not like my Air Jordans or my Air Maxes where I have them like laced pretty tight.
Yeah.
Then that was how come I was wondering like how different it was between like the women's and the men's. Like maybe the women's shoes are like less tall or something.
I would imagine to some extent they would be.
But yeah. I don't have any issues with my CrossFit shoes or my running shoes that are men's. So it's weird, and it's not like the Air Jordan 1s are fine. Like it's only like some of them, which is why it's weird because I usually very consistently wear like the same size at Nike. Like
I haven't worn enough. Like I haven't daily worn 2s, 3s, or 4s yet. I've really worn a lot of 1s, and I really like the 5s. Those ones are surprisingly comfortable. So
I think I need to like go to a store that has some in stock so that I can try on like a half size smaller and see if it makes a difference.
Yeah.
I don't know. But
sure.
Heck yeah.
Heck yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad people are watching our reels, but maybe like click on the profile.
Watch the reel, click the profile. I mean, yeah, I guess if there's a picture, we'll generally try to include something.
And like I guess I could have put the pictures on like the YouTube video and stuff, but no one really watches those. So like, and I'm usually like, since we're changing it to Sunday, that'll be better because like I'm usually doing it when I get home.
Yeah.
In like 4 hours, like speed doing it. Like I can't spend as much time.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I guess maybe on the reels, and because I can't use the same video, like I have to do all the reels first and then do the YouTube video. Like I can't because the picture orientation is different, so I can't do it the same.
Right.
Yeah.
Makes sense. So I mean, but if people start watching them more, we'll start to put a little more.
I'm just confused about how that one got so many views like a day later.
Yeah.
Like it literally had like 240 when I looked at it at school. Or even just before we recorded, I think it had like 240. I don't know, but Sunday will be better. I'll have to edit this one tomorrow though, so that I don't have, since I'm going out of town.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, I mean, you can like and subscribe wherever you get our episodes, or wherever you listen to your podcast. Download them, share them with your friends and family, your friends who are your family who's more like friends and family. Find us on our socials, and if you're like, hey, wait, I want to see a picture, like click on the profile and see if there is a picture, because it's not just reels. Like Instagram was made for photos. Let's see, and that's at 5 MMPOD. You can also send us an email to 5FIVE more minutes pod@gmail.com. And it's Sunday when you're listening to this now because I'm a tired teacher.
We had to switch to make editing easier.
Yeah.
It'll be easier for everybody.
I think I said all of the things. Did I say all the things? I just did it in the different order than normal.
Yeah, so. more than normal. And then I will say, if anyone's interested, the pair of Air Jordan 1 breads that I did what's it called? A blog on it on our website. So you can go check it out if you're curious.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yep.
All right. Well, make good choices.
Yep, we clocking out.
Bye.
Bart.